It's February the 18th. An environmental disaster on an historic scale has begun. At a copper mine in Zambia, owned by the Chinese company Sino Metals, a dam holding back a reservoir of toxic waste has collapsed. What some experts claim is one of the worst and least reported mining accidents ever has been unleashed. Matched, they say, by one of the worst government and industry cover-ups. It is spewing lethal chemical poison, arsenic, cyanide, uranium, lead, mercury and more. Soon slicks of dead fish line the river shore. Nearly 2/3 of Zambia's 20 million people live along the vast Kafue river system.
It is an environmental disaster, really of catastrophic consequence when we consider the fact that Sino Metals has polluted a river on which millions of people depend for their livelihoods. We're also talking about wildlife. If we look at the communities in the immediate vicinity of the river, the entire livelihoods have been destroyed.
A helicopter drops lime into the river to try and neutralize the acidity from the spill. The dam waste was so acidic it could dissolve human bones. And after the dead fish, the dead and dying crops. Week after week of damaging delay went by. From the air, the scale of the damage is clear, the scarred, polluted landscape of the now empty reservoir. The government did order Sino Metals to pay for an independent survey to assess the damage. And that survey appears to have been buried by the government and the mine, but Channel 4 News has obtained a copy exclusively. Tonight we can reveal this 385-page report compiled by South African environmental assessors who sampled hundreds of sites in the vast toxic slurry. The river supplies drinking water to about 5 million people, including the capital, Lusaka. So, weeks of painstaking research, thousands of samples taken. And you'd think, wouldn't you, that the emergence of this report would trigger, even at this late stage, the kind of large-scale cleanup that was required. In fact, nothing like that happened at all. The environmental assessors say it would need at least 100 trucks a day for over a year to begin clearing away the contamination. Watching all this, the environmental assessors appear to have lost patience. In early June, they wrote this letter to the government begging them to take action. The language they use could hardly be more stark. Their letter says that official reports stating that 50,000 tonnes were released is grossly inaccurate, and that their estimate is 30 times that, over 1.5 million tonnes. That's not all. They write that extremely hazardous substances were released, including arsenic, cyanide, uranium and other heavy metals, which has created a toxic environment capable of causing irreversible harm to both the ecosystem and human health. Communities are at serious risk of developing birth defects, cancers, liver and lung disease, heart conditions and other chronic illnesses. Without immediate intervention, the consequences for future generations of Zambians will be severe and long-lasting. By now, others had had enough. The US Embassy broke cover on June the 12th, issuing this notice, telling its nationals to evacuate urgently from the polluted region. That produced no major action from the authorities, so the Americans put out another warning in August, now saying even breathing the air in the pollution zone could be dangerous. That did it. The very next day, the government called a press conference. Surely they were about to take action. Quite the opposite.
Laboratory results show that the pH levels have returned to normal and concentrations of heavy metals are steadily decreasing, which means that the immediate danger to human, animal and plant life has been averted as we speak today.
But the minister wasn't done yet. His clear message, nothing to see here.
All serious implications on public health, water safety, agriculture and the environment have been brought under control. There is therefore no cause for alarm.
Meanwhile, the mine is putting out PR videos claiming the water's safe to drink. Far from cleaning up for local people, they're buying up local people. More PR images of food handouts and around £800 compensation for affected families. Some, unable to read or write, sign with a thumbprint. The Chinese management say they're in it for the long haul.
On behalf of Sino Metals, this community is our partner. Our commitment will continue beyond today.
But there's a catch. Anyone accepting the compensation payment is forced to sign a gagging deal, preventing them from ever taking legal action against the mine. We asked the mining company Sino Metals for an interview. They declined, but sent a statement.
The allegations made against Sino Metals lack factual and legal basis. Sino Metals refutes these allegations in their entirety.
The Zambian government declined to be interviewed and did not respond to any of the points raised in this report. Even as we compiled this report, US-Chinese tensions spilled over, America accusing China directly of a cover-up, noting,
Sino Metals' poisoning of the Kafue River and its efforts to avoid responsibility demonstrate the contempt state-owned Chinese companies have for the lives of the Zambian people. This environmental catastrophe is the latest example of their callous indifference towards the African people. We remain concerned that the Chinese government-owned mine has sought to cover up the scope and severity of this catastrophe.
The Zambian government is now restructuring its $5.6 billion debt with China. So Zambia, trying to make China clear up the mess it's made, is difficult timing, leaving those in the polluted zone getting by as best they can. And they know only too well that the rains are coming in a few weeks. Scientists predict they'll flush the poisons further down the river system, with no major clean-up anywhere in sight at all.